Today I'm working with some fall photos of our home. I'm going to be stamping the background. This will be a 2-page spread with 5 or 6 photos. I'm Emilee, and you've found Emilee's Paper Caper, where we're all about scrapping our stash and getting some pages done. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and you won't miss any of the ideas. So for this page layout, I've pre-made the title. It says Beautiful Fall, and I'm going to use this piece of watercolor paper to stamp some leaves for the background. Instead of using ink, I'm going to stamp with these Vicki Boutin Art Crayons. They're super fun to stamp with, and it creates sort of a watercolor effect. All you have to do is have a bottle of water to spritz the stamp with, and I'll show you how this is done. It's super fun and easy. You just grab one of your art crayons and just draw on the stamp and then spray it with water and stamp it off. Usually a couple good spritzes of water and you can stamp off a couple of images. And then you can go back in with more color or even a different color, and things start to blend and just look so fun on the background. I had a super fun time stamping with these Vicki Boutin Art Crayons, and I was excited about this technique and wanted to share it with you here. This may be considered a mixed media background, but if you're not into mixed media, don't be intimidated by this at all. You could still stamp your background using traditional inks instead of Vicki Boutin Art Crayons. Think differently about your stash, and don't be afraid to use something that maybe you've not used on your background in a new way. These stamps are just a variety of leaf stamps that have been in my stash, and I thought it would be fun to try making a background with them. Kind of the variety of sizes, I think, adds some interest and variety to the page. I've about stamped off all I intend to stamp, and then I'm going to go into another technique which Vicki calls the kissing technique. I'm going to link down below to a couple of YouTube videos with Vicki sharing these techniques. That's where I got these ideas from. But what I'm using here is just a piece of packaging that's left over. I've drawn some of the crayon onto the plastic and I've spritzed it with water. Now I'm blending it with a paintbrush. I'm going to add just a little more water because I want it to be runny, but I'm going to take that piece of packaging and just gently dab it onto the page to kind of give a watercolor effect. I wanted to have more fall color on this watercolor paper. It was too white for me. It was too stark white, and so I'm just going to add some more color to this background with this kissing technique. Super quick and fun. Actually takes longer for this to dry than it does to actually apply it. I'm satisfied now with this result, and so I'm going to let this dry and turn my attention to the page layout while that's drying. First, I want to get a sense of where these photos will go. I kind of took a series of photos and a couple of them connect, and so you'll see me overlapping the photos to try to, instead of printing a panoramic photo, I'm actually just going to layer these photos on top of each other to kind of give a sense of the wider panoramic shot. I should have just switched to a panoramic option on my camera, but didn't think of it until afterwards, and so here we are. Now this has dried, the background, so I'm just going to tear this in half, and it's going to serve as the background on this layout. This mustard yellow cardstock really looks so much better when I have this stamped background to break that yellow up. I also want to add some sheets of blue pattern paper that have been in my stash. I think they're 4x4 sheets, just to break up some of that mustard yellow a little bit more. It's a little too heavy for me, and so I want to kind of tuck these blue sheets here and there across the photo to kind of help break up that solid background cardstock. Off camera, I've adhered the photos and the page title. Now I'm going in with some leaf die cuts and leaf punches to embellish the page. Let me know what you think about stamping on your scrapbook pages. I would love to hear ideas. I am trying to find ways to use my stamps on pages more, so I would love to hear your ideas. Here is a look at the completed layout. Let's keep on scrapping our stash together. Here are some more videos with more ideas. Let's keep on scrapping, everybody.